John chapter 1 verse 40, 41, 42. Let me read English Standard Version. One of the two who heard John speak and followed Jesus was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. He first found his own brother Simon and said to him, "We have found the Messiah," which means Christ. He brought him to Jesus. Jesus looked at him and said, "You are Simon the son of John. You shall be called Cephas," which means Peter. Today's point is the life of true discipleship shown by Andrew. Records of Jesus' first disciples are found throughout the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Mentioning Simon's name first, Matthew and Mark record that Simon and Andrew followed Jesus together, and Luke records only Simon without mentioning Andrew. However, John, unlike Matthew, Mark, and Luke, first revealed that Andrew and the unnamed disciple were the first disciples to follow Jesus, and he seems to put more weight on Andrew than Simon. Because John himself was also the first disciple who met Jesus with Andrew, but he records only Andrew's name in verse 40. Also in verses 40 to 50, John records then Simon became a disciple through Andrew, and mentioning that Philip is also from the same town, records it in the nuance of becoming a disciple through Andrew. Also records that Nathanael became a disciple through the Philip. It seems that Andrew was the axis of discipleship expansion. We can find a clue today as to why John paid attention to Andrew. The first is the fact that Andrew was one of the first disciples to follow Jesus on his own accord. Verse 40, John reveals Andrew's name as one of the two disciples of John the Baptist who followed Jesus. The apostle Paul was converted only after he committed the terrible sin that killed the deacon Stephen. And James, the brother of Jesus, who was the supreme leader of the early church, didn't believe in Jesus until the crucifixion. For Andrew believed and followed a young man named Jesus, whom no one followed, and became his first disciple. Of course, the teachings of John the Baptist, his first teacher, must have played a decisive role for Andrew to follow Jesus. However, when we see that he became a disciple of John the Baptist and that he voluntarily followed Jesus as a disciple of John the Baptist, it can be understood that Andrew's spiritual discernment had reached a high level. The second is the fact that Andrew was the first person to testify Jesus to someone after he met Jesus. Verse 41, he first found his own brother Simon and said, We have found the Messiah. It seems that Andrew was the first disciple whose unbearable joy and passion for evangelism erupted from the soul of a man who met Christ. The third is the fact that Andrew brought Simon directly to Jesus. In verse 42, Andrew not only testified about Jesus to his brother Simon, but also brought him to Jesus. Perhaps Andrew did it by chance or by his own inspiration, but Jesus' words when he saw Simon were so amazing. Because you are Simon, the son of John, you shall be called Cephas. Simon's life changed like these words, and he became the great apostle Peter. Regardless of his intentions, Andrew brought to Jesus a man who would become the supreme leader of the early church. It was Andrew who played a decisive role in Simon's discovery by Jesus, walking the path of the true discipleship and becoming the great apostle Peter. I believe that John, who saw the passionate, testifying, and evangelizing life of Andrew, the first disciple of Jesus, couldn't help but write about him.